Are you a real estate agent who wants to sell homes consistently every month? Did your broker promise to guide you and let you down? Join Dan Rochon, who has sold 1 to 15 homes consistently every month for each of the past 129 months. Stay tuned as Dan shares fundamental truths and success principles of building a consistent real estate business. Thank you for joining Dan Rochon, and welcome to today's training.
Today I'm going to show you how you can go from being a solo agent, if that's who you are, or wherever you are within your, maybe you're a solo agent or an agent and you have a couple assistants or some buyer's agents. I'm going to show you the pathway of where you could go by outlining my sales team, Greetings Virginia Sales Network, where we've been, where we started, and where we're going. So follow along. I'm going to map this out right now, and then I'm going to explain it to you. Thanks. Okay, so I intended to arrange this in a manner that you can see it. I'm going to explain all this to you, let you know what this is. So first of all, this is my organization. So this is where we've been, this is where we're going. I'm going to explain to you a little bit of the history, where we are today, et cetera, and where we're going. So first of all, our goal, the vision that I have for my real estate sales company, not the coaching company, my real estate sales company, is that we're omnipresent in regards to real estate sales in Virginia and the Mid-Atlantic, and that we exceed expectations. So what that means is that when you think about real estate in Virginia initially and soon in the Mid-Atlantic, that you think of Greetings Virginia as your go-to, and that's anything real estate related. That's buy, sell, invest, refinance, home improvements, whatever has to do with a home, insurance, whatever it is, that we exceed expectations. What I mean by exceeding expectations is that we're exceeding everybody's expectations. That means the expectations of our clients. That means the expectations of the team members amongst ourselves. That means the expectations of our families. That means of our friends, of our colleagues, and that we exceed the expectations of ourselves. And so this is where my company is going. This is the future for my company, and we're already achieving much of that today, and that's where we go. And I share this right here to be omnipresent and to exceed expectations. And I talk about this when I talk about Jack Welch in the book, that you cannot say to your team members too often what the vision, where you're going in your company. So there is a little bit of a thing here. First, you have to understand where it is that you want to go before you can communicate it. And so wherever it is that you're going to go in your company, you have to be able to resonate with it. It doesn't have to be big like this, by the way. It could be, I'm going to be an agent, and I'm going to exceed expectations, right? Like that is whatever resonates with you. It could be as big, it can be as small, it can be whatever. I'm sharing with you a big vision so that you can, put your vision, within there at some manner. My belief is that I want to create a vision that's so large that those that are attracted to work with me never achieve their destiny, that I'm always in front of their legacy, their destiny, where they're going. Opportunities always in front of them, and it's always abundant, so that I know if my vision's, so grand and large, that then anybody can grow into that and still be fulfilled within their own they intend to achieve. And by the way, so it's omnipresent in Virginia, then omnipresent in the Mid-Atlantic, and then it's going to be omnipresent on the East Coast, and then we're going to go across the country, and then omnipresent in the world. Now, depending on what Elon Musk does with the technology, perhaps we'll be omnipresent in the universe, yet we need a little bit more interaction with those external to our globe before we get there. So, the biggest I can go right now is omnipresent to the world. We'll get there. All right, so now let me show you sort of where we are with things. So you're likely an agent. You may have a partner that's another agent. You may have some assistants, whatever the case may be, and that's fantastic. I'm going to encourage you to create the vision of where you want to go. And then this is where we are. So I'm going to just map this out about where we are, and then maybe I'll go backwards and sort of, let me make that itself, right? So first of all, what I did is in the blue parts here, I placed what each of these people or departments are responsible for. I'm going to go through that here with you in just a moment. And so this is me, Dan, okay? I'm the CEO, the visionary of the company, the head coach. So my job is to create the vision, the accountability, maintain the profit, and coach others. So as a coach, my biggest concern is to understand what is the goals of those people that I lead, and how can I help you, how can I help them to be able to achieve those goals? That's the first thing that I need to understand as the lead coach. So then if you notice here, we break this into 3 departments. So you have a sales department, you have an operations department, and you have a lead generation department. The role of the operations department is to be omnipresent, to be accountable, to be profitable, and to communicate. And specifically to communicate with our clients 5 days a week. Now that doesn't negate the salespeople's role to communicate with our clients. It's the additional added support to our sales agent, where our contracts to close coordinator and our director of operations, Julene and Len, who's our transaction coordinator, client care manager, they're communicating with our clients in a systematic manner every single day. And they do so that Monday to Friday, on Saturdays and Sundays, that allows for us to be able to focus on other things other than real estate, unless if we're doing an open house or showing clients. It allows for us to be proactive, to be in front of the clients, so that when, because things are going to go wrong. Things will very likely go wrong during a transaction, not every transaction, because hopefully we're bulletproofing it. Yet, it's real estate. Real estate's people, real estate's moving parts, and that's why we get paid what we get paid, is to solve problems. We do have less problems, yet when there are problems and you're communicating with them 5 days every single week, do you believe that they're going to be more accepting, the clients? Absolutely, they will be. And so that's Len's job right here, and I'll go through that here in a moment. Her job is to communicate with our clients 5 days a week. All right, so lead generation, operations, and sales. So you can think about this from this perspective. Any business is going to be in these 3 segments. You're going to have to, sometimes lead generation and sales can be combined. You're going to have to find the business. You're going to have to get people to hire you, so you can find the business through the lead generation. You get people to hire you, and then you service them. So in the real estate sales, the service happens both from the operations as well as the salespeople. However, what we want, we'll start here with the salespeople. What we want our salespeople doing is the 5 money-making activities of a real estate agent. Right now, if you're a solo agent, you're doing all of this. It looks like, if you know John Madden, then you're probably as old as I am. If you don't know John Madden, I'm sure he's got a wiki page. Look him up. And John Madden used to do Monday Night Football, and he would sketch on it looked like it was really, really old school graphics. But he was sketchy, looked sort of like this, all the football plays, that type of thing. He was a former coach. I think he played in the NFL as well. I'm sure he did. Anyway, so the sales agents, 5 things that you should be doing. Lead generating, lead converting, going on appointments, negotiating, scripts and role play. That's an agent's job description. This right here, everything else is the 80%. It's not the money-making activities. However, if you're a solo agent right now, you got to do all of that, which is why most agents ride that roller coaster. Okay, because it's hard to continue to lead generate at the same time as you're servicing. And so instead of having a business that looks like this, most agents have a business that looks like this. So every 3 months or so, they're having to go back and lead generate and get more business. Maybe your business looks like this. March, you have 2 closings. No closings April, no closings May. June, 3 closings. Nothing July, nothing August. September, 2 closings. Nothing October, nothing November. December, 2 closings. Many agents' businesses look like that. If yours does, it's perfectly normal, right? If your business looks like this, then that means that you've probably been able to break through to be able to leverage and to be able to focus more on the lead generation activities. So for the Greetings Virginia sales department, right now we have 3 agents, Lynn, Jonas, Lucia, and plus myself. And then my wife, Tracy, she's not up here. Tracy's our consultant. Okay, so that's why she's not out here. She sort of consults the business. Her full-time job is raising our beautiful daughter, Maggie. And so that's Tracy's full-time job. But she's really, really involved in the business, and she's there as a huge support to us. So where we're going here is right now you've got Dan as the agent / CEO. You also have Dan as the listing agent right now. That's me. I'm Dan. Hi. Nice to meet you. And so as the listing agent, my job is to go on 3 listing appointments every single week and to get hired 2 of those 3 times. And I pretty much nailed that. I have for the last 15 months since I sold my old real estate sales brokerage. I've done it every month since then. And now that I'm able to focus on just one business, I've been able to do that. We are going to have a buyer's agent that will be like a lead buyer's agent. You'll have a lead listing agent, and then you'll have a director of sales. The lead listing agent will have listing agents that he or she will lead. The lead buyer's agents will have buyer's agents and showing agents that he or she will lead. Right now, we have 3 agents, Lynn, Jonas, and Lucia, and they are all fantastic. Currently, they're working to see if maybe one of them may want to step into one of these leadership positions, or maybe not. It's unique to each individual because we all have different aspirations, different goals, different behaviors, and different ways that we're able to interact and, different ways that we communicate. The one thing is to do what we call the Greetings Virginia play. The GB play is that we generate 3 hours a day, generating 25% of the appointments. We'll talk about where the other 75% of the appointments come here in a moment. They lead generate 3 hours a day. They go on 1 face-to-face every single day. So the definition of a face-to-face is that you're with a buyer or a seller or somebody that can do business. It doesn't have to be for the first time. It could be for the first time. So that means like right this moment as I'm filming this, I know that Lucia's out with a client right now. That's her face-to-face. I'm not sure about Lynn and Jonas. I have to check in with them, or I'm sure they'll check in with me, see how I can support them. Yet, if for some reason they're not able to go face-to-face with a client or today or a prospective client, then the rule on our team is then they go and they visit a for sale by owner face-to-face. We keep track of our activities. So this is the sheet that we keep track of it, and I keep track of mine as well. So this is this week. We're on Wednesday. So we have the lead generate 3 hours a day. We have 1 face-to-face, attend 2 first-time appointments. So first-time appointments, I've got listing paperwork in hand, and I am sharing it with them, and I'm eyeball to eyeball, and then 1 networking event a week. As I'm filming this right now, we are in quarantine. So things have changed a little bit, yet the activity, the goals are still the same, or the requirements are still the same because we still want to eat, because we still want to achieve our goals. The tactics have changed a little bit, right? We have to be more empathetic. We have to approach people differently. The activity is still the same. So you can see here, we're on Wednesday. I'm intending to lead generate 3 hours a day. So far this week, I'm 4, 1 face-to-face each day. We're doing those on video. I've had 5, so 2 on Monday and 3 yesterday. And those 3 yesterday one was a prospect, 2 were listing appointments, and then on Monday, 1 was a one-on-one with a business partner, and 1 was a listing appointment. We did all that on video. We also log over here. We also log the first-time appointments. If they are a first-time appointment, then they get logged in both of these boxes, okay? And then 1 networking event. The definition of a networking event is 1 too many. And you can see here, I didn't actually plan to show you these. It just happened to be on my desk right below me here. This is last week. So at the end of last week, I did 13.45 hours. I think it's supposed to be 13.75 hours of lead generation. So I was 1 hour, 15 minutes short. I had my 5 face-to-faces. I had my 2 first-time appointments. In fact, I had 3, and I had my 1 networking event. In fact, I had 3. Okay, and a networking event, if I do something online, it's 1 to many, and I have people tune in. If they're real estate agents or the general public or business owners, I count that as a networking event. And this is the week before, which I didn't track all my numbers. It looks like I was short on this somewhat. And this is, okay, that's this week. All right, so that's the GB play. That's what the agents right here are responsible for doing. So that's the sales department. 5 things that they do: lead generate, lead convert, go on appointments, negotiate, scription, role play. Operations. The operations is in charge of profit. They're in charge of accountability, communication, and becoming omnipresent. So right now we have sort of a weird setup here. We have the director of operations, who's Julene, and she's supported with a chief marketing officer, Nilesh. They work more, they're sort of peers, yet they have different roles within the company. We don't yet have a director of marketing. It will probably be Nilesh at some point in the future. Currently, he's working more as a contractor because he has other people that he works with. But he gives us probably a good 35, 40, 50 hours. And I'm sure if he's watching this right now, he's going to say, yeah, it's more like 80 hours a week. He gives us a significant amount of time, and he's extraordinarily talented. And so Nilesh, with Julene, partnered to lead the marketing department. which is the video, the copywriting, and we have a marketing assistant as well. So there's 3 people in the marketing department right now. And then Jolene also leads the client care as well as the director of hiring. The best person, and these are mostly all virtual, Nilesh is here. The best hire I've ever made in my life was to decide to choose to do a director of hiring. Boyd's job is to spend all day reviewing resumes, interviewing people with a systematic way, finding people that align with the behaviors that we look for, which is competitive, learning-based, assertive, relationship-based, team player, self-starters, go-givers. I had to slow that down because I realized I was about to spit it out really quickly. But clearly, I know who I'm looking for. And so that is the general behaviors of what we're looking for. And then specific to a role, you're looking for a record of success. And so that's what Boyd's always looking for. Now, that helps us with a couple things. One, we're never held hostage. We have a great crew of people. We have a great team of people. In the past, there have been times where I've had somebody working with us that was really good at their job. One time in my business career, we had a mutiny of 3 people that says, we're walking off the job if you don't give me a raise. Well, they walked off the job because as soon as that conversation started, that was no longer were we in a trusted relationship. And quite frankly, that was long ago. I probably didn't do a good job as a leader at the time to find the right people and then to lead them effectively. Today, I'm fortunate to have failed my way forward to find the right people, and I'm grateful for that. So that's the operations team. The operations team's there to support the sales team. Lastly, we've got the lead generation team. Remember I told you that 75% of the sales team, that their business is generated for them, and that comes from our lead generation team. Now, we have a tremendous database. Right now, it was at 16,000. We scrubbed it up. It's at 12,000. Just went over 12,000 yesterday. 12,000 people in our database. Their full-time job is calling that database and feeding to it. And then through Nilesh's job, or from his efforts, he's also adding people to the database from online advertising. So the way that we're structured right now is we have 4 ISAs. We have a 5th one that's starting. Today is Wednesday, next Monday. So we'll have 5. My intention is to, by the end, within 10 months of today, is to have 32 inside sales agents and to have 13 agents. So 13 and 32. And so to be able to get there, we have to hire more than what we anticipate. I can't just hire 13 because not everybody will be the right fit, because part of the hiring process, there's an extensive hiring process to make sure you have the right record of success, the right behavior, and up until 90 days after we're working together, it's still part of the interview process to see if we're the right fit for each other. And sometimes somebody may not make it through the interview process to that 90-day mark. So we have to hire more than 13 there and more than 32 here. So the reason for the 32, it's simple. We will, at some point, you can see down here as I did this little thing here, we're going to have at some point 5 boxes here of 5 squads. We'll call them squads. So one squad here we'll call expireds for sale by owners. One squad we'll call circle prospecting. One squad we'll call our database, and it's going to take 6 callers to do the size of the database that we have. And then you're going to need 5 leaders. And then you're going to need 1 leader for that. I think I misspoke there. It's actually 5 squads, 5 leaders, 5 people in each squad, 6 people in one squad plus the leader, and that equals 32. So in other words, you're going to have, let's just call it expireds, FSBO, circle prospecting, Facebook leads, sphere of influence / database, and then we would do absentees, and we may change that last one. But let's say there's 5 segments. In each one of these segments, we're going to have 5 inside sales agents calling just the expired, and that's all that they did, right? And so that you're going to have basically these guys out here are going to be feeding the database, and then there's 1 squad of inside sales agents that are calling that database to be able to ultimately, again, their job here is to feed this team over here. It doesn't negate their job of having to also lead generate. It adds to it. In fact, every single person in the organization, every single person is responsible for lead generation. Every single person. Because when we all take on the responsibility to find business opportunities, even the support staff that's really analytical and really pays attention to details, there's scripts that we train on, there's methods and systems that we implement so that their job is also to be able to look for business, to look for leads. I recorded an exclusive video with myself and Julene Delacruz, who's our director of operations. So I'm going to encourage for you to watch that. I also, my virtual team, some of the virtual team members also put together a quick little video as well, which is really more of an insider video. So I'm going to encourage for you to take a look at that and some other resources so that you can actually see how these people that I've mapped out here, you can actually meet some of them and you can actually see how they interact with each other. And the intention for this is really just so that you can have an idea of where you could go. Last thing I'll say, first hire. If you're a solo agent right now, your first hire is an administrator. Your second hire, if you are a solo agent right now, your second hire is an administrator. At some point, one of those administrators will become an executive assistant. The other will become marketing or transaction coordinating. And the reason why you want two admins before you hire your next one, which would be a buyer's agent, is because if one leaves you or you have to fire one of them, you don't take the job back, which you don't want to do. So first hire is an admin, second hire is an admin. Get one into marketing, get one into client care. One of them will take leadership of the other, and then when they take leadership of the other, their job would be to replace themselves. That's their first job. So let's say it's the client care individual. That was Jolene's job at one time. Jolene ended up hiring Len. Len's right there. So when Jolene got promoted, then Jolene's first job was to hire her replacement, who eventually was Len. I think there was somebody before that. And then now you have one leader, executive assistant, who can turn into a director of operations. You have one marketing and you have one client care. Now you can hire a buyer's agent. You can maybe hire a buyer's agent before that third admin, yet that's probably even a better time to hire that buyer's agent right there. If you hire virtually, then you're going to be able to really afford to be able to do that with a minimum amount of transactions. And each hire that you hire should be able to 3 times whatever you're paying them, should be able to 3 times their salary as a return. So hopefully that was useful to you. Thanks for watching, and take a look at the other content that we share with you.
Give us a thumbs up by clicking the like button below. Don't forget to subscribe to Get Rock Solid Coaching Channel and stay ahead of the game.